What's up, y'all? It's Annabelle with That Good Shit, and I am here with the incredible
Mahalia.
Mahalia. It is so amazing to be here today on your very cozy couch. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I went to the gym. My arms are hurting.
Yeah.
I went to the gym this morning and I did upper body and I'm really regretting it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I feel really good.
Love that. What's your upper body routine? What workouts did you do today?
If my personal trainer sees this, she's going to kill me because I'm going to get it wrong. But today was back and shoulders and we did one of the flies. I'm not sure which one.
Just one of the, yeah.
One of the spread.
Yeah.
We did some lat pull downs. We did some, I forgot what these are called, rows.
Mm-hmm.
We did some shoulder presses with dumbbells. We did some lateral raises. We did some frontal raises.
Love.
Oh, and then we did some front high rows. Woof.
Nice.
Which is really tough, actually. I think that's my worst.
Yeah. Upper body day is always the hardest for me. What's your favorite day in the gym?
Are we supposed to have a favourite?
I like leg day. That's always my favorite.
I like leg day when I'm training myself.
Yes.
If my PT is training me, leg day is horrific.
Right.
It's horrific.
Right.
But I like leg day, I feel strong.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, no, leg day I feel strong and sexy and you get the little pump and your butt's doing its thing. You know?
That is very true.
Yes, that's always a good feeling. Well, I'm so excited to talk to you today. I've been listening to your music for a long time, and I admire so much about just the way you exist and move within music. You're just such a force of light and happiness.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. The first thing I really want to get into actually is Mahalia Presents, because I think it's so interesting, and I think there's not a lot of other artists who do this kind of thing. So for those of my audience who might not be familiar, tell me a little bit about Mahalia Presents and what it is.
So Mahalia Presents, it's a kind of curated night of talent and of artistry and of live music. I started it when I was 16 in Leicester, where I'm from. We did 3 or 4 events, and I started it back then with my parents. My parents kind of wanted to let me have a space where I could really get better at talking to crowds. So we started it there, and then I was at school, so we had to kind of not do it often, and then figuring out logistics and venues and stuff like that was quite hard. So I stopped, and then a couple of years ago, I don't remember who I was talking to. I might have just been talking to my manager, and I just said I really want to start it again. So we had the idea to start up again, and then it kind of took off quite quickly. We started it in East London in a venue called Moth Club, which is just down the road from here. So we're in Bethnal Green right now, and Moth Club is right by Hackney Central Station, Central. One of my favourite venues in East London, and I wanted it to be there because that venue itself just has so much history in it, and it's always been a very cool kind of what's the term, rite of passage venue. It's tiny, the floors are sticky, it definitely smells like piss, which is fine.
Love that.
One of my favourite things.
It's charming.
Yeah. It's very charming. That kind of felt like the perfect way to set it off. And since it's been 2 years, and it's been going really well.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Yeah.
How do you go about discovering the artists that are on the lineups for these shows?
That is the hardest part, actually. So we have a bunch of different kind of ways of doing it. When we first started it, for me it was quite easy because I had already probably figured out a list of people that I wanted to get. It's now that I think sometimes we're like, whoa, there are so many people out there and we're not finding them in the right way. So I actually work with an amazing guy called Rich Rose, who is the baddest little bitch ever, and he's just the best to work with it on. And basically he's very cool because he really has his ear to the ground physically. He goes to a lot of shows, he goes to a lot of stuff like this, and then I basically kind of look through, we have a submissions email, I look through that, and I'm kind of the one that's online looking and finding stuff. Sometimes I might even just see a video of somebody singing, and then I'll go to their page and look and kind of trawl through. So it takes a while. The whole thing itself actually has been a massive discovery for me. Because Rich will be sending me stuff all the time. Sometimes even my boyfriend sends me stuff, or it feels like a village and a huge team effort to really be able to put on amazing people.
Definitely. I feel like it's one thing to, be an artist, make music, and build out your community through performing your own live shows, but it's a whole different thing to, be on the back end curating shows and bringing your community together like that with discovery as the main focus. Yeah. I think that's just the coolest thing ever. I've heard so many amazing things about Mahalia Presents. I have friends who've DJ'd there and things like that. I think you might know my friend Kat, who's done it before. Yes. But yeah, and I was just with her last night. We were talking about it, and yeah, I think it's such a beautiful thing. Who are some of your favorite artists you've discovered through Mahalia Presents?
Oh my gosh. So, okay, that's a crazy question because so many. But some of them I knew before, but then after seeing them there, I kind of fell in love with them more. I would say Maddie Saskia is one of my favourites. She was actually at our first. Chrissy is out of this world, unbelievable. I have to say, like, some of my favourite performances, I think I'll never get over Saint Harrison. He absolutely... It was the maddest night.
Saint Harrison live is
it was crazy.
Yeah.
And it was at Moth Club, so it was at the Sticky Floors one. So that was really special. There was a girl last week called Sarah. Actually, all the girlies last week. We had this amazing girl called Jessie Blakemore, who's like really, really special. Also really gorgeous and like lovely to watch. She's very tender and quite calm and yeah, just really, really fucking talented. And then Sophie Faith and Sarah. There's a lot of artists. There's a lot of artists. It's really funny because I feel like because they're every 2 months, in my mind they're quite close together. But it feels like whenever we do a new event, it feels like we're like taking like a million steps forward. Like it's every event feels so different to the other, and it really feels like now it's kind of come such a long way. I have loads of favourites.
Yeah.
I also get scared saying favourites because I don't want to make anyone feel shit.
We don't want to leave anyone out. Everyone's
Absolutely not. But no, what I will say is that I've never been scared about anybody going up, because also the other thing about curating something like this is people sometimes come because they're a fan of you and they trust that you're going to give them something that they might like. That scares me a lot. For me, it was always about putting on artists that I just thought were great and that I kind of selfishly wanted to see live.
Fair.
You know? Yeah.
That's why I put shows together too. I'm like, I want to see them live. Like, I want to put together a lineup of my playlist, and then hopefully you guys like it.
Yes, literally same.
I think that's super incredible. And yeah, if you out there ever have a chance to go to a Mahalia Presents show, like definitely go to one. Where do you see Mahalia Presents going in the future over the next year or two? Or
I think about that all the time. Okay, that question is always in my brain. I don't know. I didn't think that it was going to go on for this long. So it's been 2 years. Now I'm like, surely I need to kind of try and take this further. It'd be really cool to have a festival stage or something like that, or like maybe, you know, be able to partner with like a BBC Introducing or something like that, where we can kind of really bring the side of UK R&B to the forefront of those types of spaces. Right now, I think that's my only idea. But surely I can do more. I mean, obviously it would be nice to upgrade the venues and do bigger stuff, but equally that's going to come with time and like people knowing about it and stuff. And it feels like still not a lot of people know about it, so it still feels like our little secret. So I'm just hoping to grow it and push it and make it better.
Things grow in their own time, and there is always something special about that intimate, like when they're still small and you get to like be so close to the community. So it's important to enjoy that too, as much as growing is also important. So that's really beautiful. Speaking of UK R&B and R&B in general, because of Mahalia Presents and just who you are, you're very tapped into the world of R&B. You've been a part of it for such a long time. Who are some artists out right now that you feel like are doing a good job of pushing R&B forward?
I would have to say Destin Conrad. I would say K1. I would say Sasha Keeble. I would say Bella. I would say Coco Jones. Kalani, absolutely. She's always my queen since I was a kid.
Always.
Yeah, like she'll never not be there for me. Jazz Karis, she's releasing right now and it's all so beautiful. Flo are back, which is really cute. I know. Sinead Hartnett. I have to say. She's always been, again, a top for me, and I love her, and she's about to start her tour, so I'm kind of always watching her and like loving her from afar.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's so many, and if you have any more later, let me know. We'll toss their names in here somewhere. Is R&B what you primarily listen to on your own time?
No, actually. I mean, yes, but then also I really listen to a lot of everything.
Yeah.
I have always been really into storytelling, to be honest. So like if somebody tells a beautiful story, regardless of genre, I usually am attracted to it. So no, yeah, like my playlists are kind of everything from R&B to folk to acoustic soul to some like indie shit. There's actually a lot of folk stuff, but I also think all of that stuff at times is fused together so much in music, and I think a lot of alternative R&B pulls from some of those different genres, so my playlist makes sense to me.
Well, actually I was going to ask you, what is the last playlist that you made?
It's a playlist called Right Now Chill.
Okay.
Well, I think it's like RN Chill. I don't know why it's called that.
Okay.
That's the last playlist that I made, but I add to that one the most because that's the one, if I'm in the car or if I'm on a plane, that's the one that I put on.
Okay, and what can we find on that playlist?
I will tell you.
Let's take a look.
Should we just do like a random flick?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of my favourite songs of all time is The Other Side by Moonchild. Then you have Eternal Light, Free Nationals and Chronics. Then you have Lil Yachty with Strike.
Yes.
Then you have Kamari. Oh my gosh, sorry. Kamari is one of my favourites.
Yes.
Doctor My Eyes will sorry.
It's okay.
We'll never get over it. Then you'll have a bit of Yao Gilberto with Swonderful. Jumbotron Ship Poppin' with Drake.
Of course.
Then you'll have a bit of That's the Way Love Goes with Janet Jackson. A little Georgia Smith with Little Things. Then we might later on have Mahalia, my babe. Sorry, I have to talk about Mahalia too, who's an incredible UK R&B artist. She's got a tune called Genesis out, and it's a remix with her, Joyce Rice and Mira May and Bella, and it's incredible.
Amazing.
Then we have a bit of Olivia Dean. Then we have some Central C.
Nice.
Hayley Knox, one of my faves. Sorry,
Yes.
totally missed her.
Hayley Knox, incredible.
Oh my god, Jordan Ward, I can't get over him, never will. And then we have some like Peggy Goo, some BB King. It's actually a big mix.
We got lots of vibes in here. I
Lots
see a lot of my
vibes.
favorite songs.
A lot
in
of
here,
Cleo
too.
Soul. Sorry, Cleo Soul. Sorry, need to mention Cleo Soul. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. Then I will always finish around Bon Iver. Always, and it's usually Restacks.
Gorgeous.
And then my friend Rich has got this song called Gay Face. It's one of my favourite songs right now.
Love that.
And in the hook he says, I think I've got a bad case of gay face. That I just think is just the sweetest, funniest thing ever. So there's loads of stuff, loads of mix, loads of different kind of genres and bits and bobs.
That's beautiful. It reminds me a lot of my playlists. My playlists are like all over the place and just full of different vibes, but whether the through line is like storytelling or just a certain emotion, like it's cool to how music from all over the place can kind of tie together in those places. Exactly. One of my other favorite things that I've seen you do is I love your performance on Colors. Such a fun way to showcase artists, and it's like I always look forward to like the new Colors shows coming out. I want to know, what are some of your personal favorite Colors performances?
My two favourites that I go back to is IMDb Pause and Doechii Stress.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
That one, so IMDb was my favourite for years. Every time a new one would come, even my own, I was like, but IMDb. But Doechii in that brat green.
And like the outfit too is so crazy.
And there was like it's not a hood, is it like a scarf?
Yeah, some kind of hood or like scarf thing.
Oh, that was so cute.
Yeah.
That one really, really got me actually. I think that was the last time that I was like, whoa. Colours is like pretty amazing anyway, and you find beautiful stuff, but there's something about those two performances that really got me.
Those were both executed just like really thoughtfully, and I will never get over Doechii. Doechii's like one of my personal favorite artists right now.
The Swamp Thing I really love.
Yeah.
Like I'm really, really here for it.
Yeah.
She's Swamp Princess, right?
Swamp Princess, yeah. A swamp, so basically it's like kind of like in the US around like Florida, the South, it's this area where it's just like really wet and muddy, and there's like kind of like small bodies of water, little rivers, and kind of like a jungle. Just like little small bodies of water, and it's like alligators, and it's just very like wet and humid and like muddy and moist.
Scary?
Some might say a little bit spooky, yeah. That's where like Shrek the ogre lives, like out in the swamp. Like that's the vibe. If you've seen Shrek, like that's the energy.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I love that for her.
Anyway, obsessed with Doechii. I could talk about her all day. Love her. Something I saw you talk about in a recent interview was how important it is for you to kind of keep your personal life as your priority and not lose yourself to your work, which is something I personally struggle with as someone who like loves what I do and is a creative. And I think a lot of creatives are always navigating that balance between like prioritizing your personal life and wellness and also committing yourself to your work, but not falling too deeply into that. Yeah. How do you navigate that balance?
Maybe therapy has like taught me how to. I actually don't know what my how is yet. I just really care about I really care about my partner and him having enough of my energy. I really care about my friends having enough of my energy and my family. I don't think I used to. I used to be so set and so focused on work, and like that was the only thing that mattered, to the point of kind of always being called selfish, and then actually getting to the point of feeling a bit selfish. I think being selfish is fine, and I think that we all need to be, and I also think if you're following a dream and a passion, you have to be to be able to kind of you know, move forward and like do the important things. And maybe there are going to be tough decisions where you might have to miss something here, but I just think it's incredibly important to focus on your personal stuff as well. My friend Carl has always said to me, like, you only get one go. And I'm like, if I only get one go, of course I want to do as well as I can in this thing that I love, but if I only get one go, I don't want to get to 60 and go, hold on a second, why didn't I prioritize any of that stuff that is now really important to me? I also just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'll be sat with my girlfriends, I'm like, this is so much fun. Like, why don't I do this more? Or like, why am I so hyper focused on creativity and like, and excelling in this career when I kind of also really love you guys and like want to feed that part of me. I also do think that we have different parts of our brain that need feeding. And I think at some point, if you're only work focused, something will give and will ask you to, you know, prioritize something else for a bit.
There's so many different, I don't know, parts of life to consider, and I feel like capitalism like really drives us to like focus on just like work all the time and only focus on how can I advance my career, how can I make more money, and it's like they don't want you to like really prioritize that time with family and just like having fun and enjoying life. But that's like the moments in life that you're going to remember. That's what's so important, especially with family when you're young and you have your whole family around you, your parents and your grandparents and all your loved ones. Like, I also take that so seriously. And sometimes like I'm made to feel like lazy or like not prioritizing my career when it's really just like making time for family or just having fun with friends. And I think more people need to like, I don't know, give more importance to that side of life.
Look, I will say, and like, I'm actually like fine saying this now because I'm years out of it and I've like forgiven myself for it. But when my grandma became really unwell while I was on tour in the States and she was in Jamaica and I hadn't seen her for a couple of years, I kind of thought she was going to be okay. In my brain, I was like, I think I need to stop the tour and go. And at the time, I was working with a team that A, weren't that great, and B, like their priority wasn't massively me and my well-being. And when I said I want to go, I kind of let everybody around me who only cares about the tour and the money and whatever else tell me that I couldn't. And then my grandma died, and then it's been 4 years, but I remember when I came back, I was an absolute mess, and then I had to cancel some of the shows anyway because I was such a mess. And I remember coming back, and I started therapy about a year later and realising how much that had affected me and realising how much it had pissed me off that I'd allowed somebody else to make me care about something more than something I really care about.
Yeah.
And then so since then, I'm like, that is never happening again. Like, if my friend coughs and says, I need you, I'm like, I'm there. And whatever I'm doing, I'll figure it out later. And I would hope that for most people, it doesn't take something that sad to like make you do that.
Yeah.
Or to make you change that in your brain. But I just think family is so important.
Absolutely.
And yeah, just the people in your life that you love, because they're not going to be there forever.
I think you set a really important example for creatives to like know that it's okay and like completely all right to keep that balance and put love and family and friendships before career sometimes. And it's not the end of the world. Like, you're not defined by your career, how much money you make, or how successful you are. You know, love is what makes the world go round. So yeah, that's a really beautiful perspective you have on that, and I really respect that. Okay, fun question. What's the first song you play when you get up in the morning? And what's the last song you play at night before you go to bed?
The first song right now is probably 360, Charlie XCX.
Yes. The 360.
And the last song right now, I think it's probably Moonchild. I play that song every day.
Yeah, that's a great, like, Moonchild is great to fall asleep to.
The Other Side. Oh my God. I know every ad lib and every harmony in that song, so I play it every day. I think it probably, because I was in the bath last night, and I'm trying to think what my playlist would have ended on. It probably would have been Moonchild.
Yeah.
That usually is me at night.
That's the perfect music to, like, carry you into the dream world, you know?
I agree.
Yeah. So you recently put out this song called Life Size, which is part of this, like, Sprite campaign that was really cool. We did our interview with Doechii around that same Sprite campaign, and I think a lot of the music that was made around that campaign was so cool and beautiful and had so much amazing messaging. That song made me reflect a lot on how as I've grown up, I've watched society make a lot of progress in terms of like body positivity slash
Yeah.
body neutrality. And I've seen a lot of progress, but at the same time, so many impossible standards still exist and are even showing up in like new ways that haven't been seen before. So tell me a little bit about putting that song together and what that meant to you and how you're navigating this world of like impossible beauty standards.
I loved putting that song together just because I think it's probably something that I've wanted to talk about for ages. The beauty standards thing, I'm not sure will ever go away.
Yeah.
I think society will always have a way of making us, and when I say us, I definitely mean women, feel not good enough, or not beautiful enough, or, you know, not really anything enough to kind of be front facing. I don't know how they continue to do it, but they continue to do it.
The powers that be, the patriarchy, they always find a way.
They always find a way. And I've definitely struggled. I'm much better now. I still struggle a little bit, just to feel confident every day. But when I actually get down to it, I think I just have my mum in my head. And like when I was a kid, my mum was just like, honey, you have 2 hands that work and 2 legs that work and 2 eyes that see and 2 ears that hear. What the fuck is wrong with you? And I think that's always in my head now. And maybe that's as I get closer to kind of maybe, you know, at some point in like the next 10 years, like being a mother. I don't know, like maybe it's just that as I get older, I can kind of, I'm starting to channel her more. I don't know, but making the song was really important to me. I talk about it a lot in interviews. I talk about it a lot online. Never really spoken about it in music. And I've never really known how to. And it was nice to do it in that way because the song itself was so upbeat and so fun. When Take a Day Trip were making the beat, I was like, this is so much fun. How can I take something serious and like inject it in here? So I love it. Yeah. And I'm really proud of it. And it's been nice to see that people like it.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. I was going to ask, how do you feel like the song has been received by your community?
I think a lot of people were like, what the hell is this? Like, is this new? Or like, oh, I don't know. I think people are always a bit shocked when you drop something out of the blue. But it was nice for my first release after my album, my second album, to be that and to be done through Sprite Limelight. It kind of feels like there's not a lot of pressure on it. And then now kind of going into the next phase of releasing, I feel loads calmer because I've already done it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like this big thing that, you know, everybody's waiting for now.
Yeah. Took some pressure off, which is nice. And tell me a little bit about that music video. I thought the music video was beautiful and you had so many incredible women in that video talking about what they love about themselves. And it just made me feel so warm inside. So tell me about the video.
The video is probably my favourite part of all of it. We shot it in Portland in Jamaica, where my grandparents are from, particularly quite close to where my grandma's from, which was really special for me. My mum's in it. I love women and I love being able to show women in that way. I also really wanted to kind of emphasize how Jamaica makes me feel as a woman. Like, I would just say places that aren't really a part of the Western world. Like, there is this idea that we're all just kind of beautiful. Like, there's nothing wrong with us, you know, as long as we're here and we can eat and we can sleep and live and be healthy, we're fine. And I really wish that we had that mentality, because the second I've come back here, I'm like, what are we all doing? Like, do we all hate ourselves? Because when I'm in Jamaica, obviously it's one thing because my family are there, so I can see myself very clearly in other people. But I don't know. Women are just different there. Yeah. There's a strength that I see that just oozes out of women there. There's a real solidarity amongst women there. I don't know, I really, really love it. And I felt really proud knowing that that is at least half of my heritage.
That's really beautiful. How much time do you spend out in Jamaica, and do you create a lot when you're out there?
That trip, I was actually there for a month and I was creating for basically 3 weeks. I mean, since I was a kid, I've probably gone every like 4 years. My grandparents used to come over and see us quite a lot. And then my parents would take us whenever they could. But I've been more in the last 4 years, basically. Yeah.
And is a lot of the upcoming music that's coming in the future is stuff that you made while you were in Jamaica?
A lot of it is.
Okay.
And I'm really excited. Okay. I know, it's really cute, you know, because I just like, as a kid, I grew up on so much reggae and dancehall and incredible Jamaican music that I never really got to kind of take and reimagine in my own way. I don't know, I think I kind of stayed away from that for some reason. But also, I think because, no, actually, I know the reason. I think there is such a thing, particularly in the UK, on R&B, and there's such a clear box that people want you to stay inside of. And if you start pushing out of it, they get confused.
Yeah.
They've gotten better.
Yeah.
But for a long time, it's been like, if you make UK R&B, this is what it has to sound like. And I think as we've seen the goalposts moving and the kind of box changing, we've all been able to kind of go further into what inspires us. And for me, it was so lovely to be back in, for me, what feels like my kind of motherland, creating in a space where I really understood the sonic, you know? Like, that there was a guy that we worked with who was, I would say he was like a reggae dub producer, and it just reminded me of being 6 years old outside in the garden with my mum, like, digging, and my dad smoking a joint. I don't know. Just thought that was lovely.
What are you able and willing to share about the upcoming new music? What kind of sounds we can expect? Stories that are going to be told? Vibes we're going to catch? Anything there that you'd like to share?
What I will say is that I think we've got some really amazing features lined up, which I'm really excited about. And a couple of them are from Jamaica, born and bred. So that's really exciting for me. Actually, it's really exciting.
Okay. We're really excited to see that. And kind of on that tip, like, I love your work as a collaborator as well. I think every time you have a feature, it's like very tasteful. You've worked with a lot of incredible artists. Who is a collaborator that has taught you the most?
Jacob Collier.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. We did that in COVID. So I was on FaceTime to him and he had control of my computer and he was like recording my vocals. And I mean, I've never seen anyone work like him. I've also never seen anybody so talented. And he completely pushed me. I've always said that I'm more of a songwriter-singer over a singer-songwriter because I'm like, I know that I can sing and I now love my voice. But for a long time, I just never felt like I had the kind of techers to like do all this crazy stuff and like sing really high. And Jacob completely opened up a whole new vocal world to me. So him for sure. He just showed me what my voice could do, basically, which I really appreciated.
I've heard of a lot of people talk about how he like completely changed like how they viewed their own voice or their process. Like he is definitely a living, breathing musical genius.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. And you can either be intimidated by that or love it and be inspired by it. And I was so inspired by every second of it with him. He's also just become one of my lovely friends. So I love him to death. Yeah.
Beautiful. Who's like your number one dream collaboration right now?
Kendrick Lamar, forever and ever.
Yeah.
Same answer every time.
Amazing.
I'll never change it. Well, until it happens, and then I'll change it.
Right. What do you think a Kendrick and Mahalia collab is going to sound like?
I don't know. I don't think I've gotten that far.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like it to sound like something that he's not done. Maybe he could sing with me.
He has like a pretty nice singing voice.
He's got a super nice voice.
Yeah.
He's got a super nice voice, actually. I don't know, singing. I can't rap, so I won't be doing that. But I don't know what it sounds like. That's a great question. I need to think about that answer more.
I don't know if you could put a song like that on your vision board, but you're making vision boards when we walk in here, like you and Kendrick, maybe like some vibes of what a song could sound like. Yeah, shout out to Kendrick. Well, I'm excited for when you guys collab. I know it's coming. What if he just like texted you right after this interview and was like, hey girl, anything's possible. I'm excited for that.
And I think that would be you. That would be your doing.
Really?
Yeah, like that would be your manifestation. I can feel it.
Kendrick, if you are watching this, please contact Mahalia. We'll put her phone number right here for you to see. What's your favorite meal right now?
Lamb chops with mashed potato and asparagus and a nice like lamb gravy. I know. That's my favorite meal right now.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. Some mashed potatoes right now. The past like couple years, I've been really into pho. So like some tofu pho with like an iced tea.
I don't like tofu. I've tried.
That's okay.
I actually have tried so many times.
Yeah.
Do you love it?
I love it so much.
Is there a better way to have it than just when it's like wet?
There's so many ways to have it. I think when it's like baked or fried, it can be really nice.
Okay.
I feel like it takes up the flavor of whatever you cook it with. So it's like really versatile. Or like a tofu scramble can be really nice with like some turmeric and some different spices.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. I was vegan for like 5 years, so I got really into tofu.
Yeah. My boyfriend loves tofu.
Yeah. What's one song that you wish you made?
Rolls Royce, Love Don't Live Here Anymore. The writing on that song is so beautiful. I just wish I wrote that. But actually, I've got loads. I kind of wish that Work by Rihanna was my song.
Yes, definitely. We were doing interviews a couple days ago at All Points East, and we asked Victoria Monet, like, which song she wished she made. She said, All I Want for Christmas Is You, because it's like, that's a check every year.
Literally. That is
Brilliant
so
answer.
much money.
So much. Girl, I'm already seeing, like, advertisements for Christmas shows for Mariah Carey right now, and it's August. Oh my gosh, I also just saw that you walked in a show for, I might say her name wrong, but Sinead O'Dwyer.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about walking in that show.
Really beautiful.
Yeah, you look amazing.
Thank you. Really beautiful, really scary, to be honest. I was scared. Like, I think, like, even just going back to, like, what we were saying about kind of body image and beauty standards and fashion, like, the fashion world and the catwalk has not been kind to women who don't look a certain type of way. And we've seen designers and brands kind of changing and wanting to diversify their cast, but there are also still so many that don't care to and don't think that they should. And I felt really proud to be a part of it. It was so incredible. It was brilliant. And also she's really spectacular. Her designs, everything about kind of the way she puts clothes together and how they're supposed to fit the body, I think is all about making the person feel the most beautiful. So I couldn't be more proud to have been a part of a show that inclusive and that stunning.
You look stunning. And yeah, again, like going back to the song Life Size, I just think like all of that messaging that you've been putting out there and then being an example and walking in that show is just like, I don't know, I think you're setting such a beautiful example for women all around the world just to like love themselves and be proud of who they are. And like, you're so much more than the skin you're in. And like, even the skin you're in, like no matter what you look like, you're you, so you're beautiful. Like you're here and you're alive, you know? Well, that's about all the questions I have for you today, Mahalia. Is there anything else that you would like the people to know?
New music is coming. Love your body, love yourself, love your mind, and you never have to wear a bra in your life.
Period. Wait, is that going to be merch? The you don't have to wear a bra shirt?
I actually made them, and then we accidentally left some of them in America, so I'm having to get more made.
I saw that and I was like, I definitely need one of those for sure. You never have to wear a bra ever, I promise you. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Miss Mahalia.
Thank you.